Hey, it's Traci Brown, the fraud busting body language expert, and I am here with super producer Alex. How are you?
That's me. I'm fine. Thanks for
Yeah,
having
and
me.
so I'm always excited whenever I get to talk to Alex. And you may know us from our Truth, Lies, and Coverups podcast. And
hmm
considering that I'm a body language expert, we figured that maybe we should do some video review of body language in the news. Problem is, hard to do on a podcast and
So
on
what
a
if we
on
do
a
that with
audio.
video? Can we do
Why
that?
don't we do it with
Let's
video?
give
Here
that a
we
shot.
are. So anyway, Alex is along to help me today because Alex, we have some news. What's the news?
So there is news concerning Deshaun Watson, who has been in the news quite a bit lately for this whole row
Mm-hmm.
that he's had with the it was 67 massage therapists in 43 different countries and something along those lines.
Well, down in
Um,
Houston, when Texas is a different country, but
yeah, that's a big area. But anyway, so it just came down the pike today, as in the last few minutes, that the NFL had appealed his original ruling, and now he will sit out 11 games, and he's going to have to pay $5 million in fines. So he has agreed to this after literally dozens of sexual misconduct allegations.
yeah,
So that's
40
the news
some.
we got now.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So he did an apology. I believe it was last week,
hmm
and with an ESPN interview. I pretty sure it was ESPN. Anyway, I got some clips. So let's take a look at the body language. Let's figure out if he's sincere or not. Now, when I say body language, I mean body language, tone, and words. We're looking at all of these things. This first little clip is a baseline clip. Whenever I work on investigations, that's what I look for first, is what's someone's baseline, their normal way to behave when they're telling the truth. And then we'll go from there. So what we want to listen for is his emotion. Is he emotionally engaged in what he's saying? And you
Uh-huh.
can tell that. And let's look at that little sway that he has, right? And we can talk about that in a bit. Here we go.
Sean, as you get ready to get on the bus, let's just start with this one. It's been 19 months since you played a game of competitive football. How are you feeling about that?
I'm super excited. I'm excited to get out there with my new teammates and go out there and compete. Each and every snap, I want to make sure I cherish that because I'm not sure when the next time I'll be able to get out there with those guys. So I'm super excited.
All right, so
Super excited.
he is super excited, and he smiled.
Yes,
So
he did.
it clearly he doesn't emote a lot, right? But this gives us a idea of how he normally behaves when there's no reason to lie, no reason to go off track on anything. Now, the little sway says he wants to get out of there. Okay.
Okay.
Now, why would he be doing that? Well, and they even talked about it. The bus is waiting. The bus could he want to get to the bus, or does he know what's coming next? Because
Okay.
there's some questions coming.
So, and the purpose of this is establishing the baseline is so we can determine if he's being sincere in the other clips as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we look at what shifts, what
Okay.
changes.
So, what changes from his baseline to other answers?
Exactly.
Okay. What else we got?
So this next clip, here's what we're going to notice. What little emotion he has goes away.
Okay.
Okay. And I think he's a little bit robotic with some of his comments, right?
Uh-huh.
And at the end, he says thank you. It's the second question of an interview. No one says thank you in the middle of an interview. So I think he wants out of there as quick as he can. But let's watch it and then we'll talk. Here we go.
As you say that, your eligibility is still in question, and although this appeal is ongoing, I have to ask you, the initial ruling from Judge Sue Robinson made a very specific point of saying that your lack of remorse played into her decision making. It's been a part of the narrative surrounding you. What is your response to that?
Look, I want to say that I'm truly sorry to all the women that I've impacted in this situation. My decisions that I made in my life that put me in this position, I would definitely like to have back, but I want to continue to move forward and grow and learn and show that, I am a true person of character, and I want to keep pushing forward. Thank you.
Okay, so he starts this thing out and he goes, look, right? That's what you say when you're irritated. You're going to say this one last time. That's all you're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, rightly so. He is probably really, really tired of this situation. However, it is not the way that you start out an apology that's sincere. It's just not. That's not what happens.
Okay.
And he talks about he sounds a little robotic. I am truly sorry for what he did. And that does not show emotion right there. That's scripted. And the other thing is that a real apology shows I have this written down. It talks about exactly who you hurt. It says how you hurt them and what you're going to do to fix it. And so when you use blanket words like actions, that significantly diminishes the meaning of the apology.
Okay. So he's not apologizing for something specific at that point.
No, yeah, he's apologizing because someone scripted something out for him and he happens to be in an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for this, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Deshaun for sincerity on this now, because he's significantly different what he was in that first video. So, and then he thanks someone. Did we talk about that? He thanks her.
No, we didn't get that one. You mentioned it at the beginning, but so when he thanks at the end, but it's not the end of the interview, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you don't do that. That's where he's off his game. He's off his game. Sincerity is gone at this point.
So his sincerity level in that particular clip, if we were to rank that from 1 to 10 on the Pinocchio scale, what would we give it?
10 being the highest level of insincerity.
The highest level of BS, right?
I'm going to give that a 9.5.
Okay, that's a 9.5 on the BS scale.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we should.
We have one more clip though, right?
Yeah. We could call it the BS scale, if not the
no,
Pinocchio
I like
scale.
the Pinocchio scale.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Here we go. Now, I want you to listen to the order that he describes his growth. That he's going to work on his growth. That's the big thing on this one. Okay. So listen to what he says first.
What does your growth on a personal level look like? How are you spending that time?
I know I have a lot of work to put in, especially on the field, to be able to make sure I'm ready to play whenever that time comes, whenever I can step back on the field. But also the biggest thing is I want to continue counseling, and I want to make sure that I'm growing as a person, as an individual, for my decision making on and off the field. And I want to make sure that I'm just evolving in the community as much as possible. And that's for the Cleveland community, that's the NFL community, and beyond.
Okay, we appreciate the time, Deshaun.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so the first thing he says because he talked about growth in the last clip. So this clip, the reporter's bound to ask, "What are you going to do to grow?" And he goes, "Well, I'm going to be a better football player."
But most importantly,
right? No one puts the most important thing second. No one does that. So, anyway, that's not the biggest thing for him. The biggest thing is football. And then he uses this keyword, this buzzword that I've heard him use in another press conference, community. So someone has told him to talk about the community. And I'll tell you about the community. The community is 40-some massage therapists that he was inappropriate with. And that's the only community that counts in this situation, I think. And he's trying to make himself sound a lot more global about his growth, and that's not a thing.
Got it. That's the community bit. Okay. So how would we rank that on the 1 to 10 Pinocchio scale, 10 being a full-blown Pinocchio?
Well, I think he's honest about wanting to be a better football player.
Yeah, I got that too. Yeah.
That's what I think. So counseling is not the most important thing. It's just not. It's never going to be. No one wants to go to counseling anyway, and especially not in this public arena. So overall for this sincerity score, I'm going to go, oh gosh, what should I go? 9. I'm going to stick with the 9.5 Pinocchios on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest level of lie that you can have.
Got it. I'm going to go with an 8.5, my amateur opinion on this, simply because he's quite sincere about wanting to be a better football player. Because that's his job. Why would he not want to be?
That.
So that's going to, that does dilute the Pinocchio scale just a bit.
Okay. Yeah. I'll give it to you. Well, make sure you join us on Truth, Lies, and Coverups on our podcast, anywhere you find podcasts, and maybe we'll do a few more of these videos. So we look forward to seeing you soon.
See you soon.